Okay, thank you for a year of listening to our podcast.
And you know what, Lucia? Thank you for a year of working together. This has been pleasant and professional.
It truly has been professional. Welcome to our spooky mini episode of
A chicken in every blood.
A Chicken in Every Blood.
A chicken in every blood.
I think we scared the dogs with our spookiness.
I don't blame them. It's scary.
Maybe they're seeing something that we don't see. Like the ghost of Theodore Roosevelt.
No.
Or Herman Cain. Too soon. We are happy to be back for a quick end of October episode.
That's right. Spooky.
Yes.
No.
That's all we did in front of the last episode too. Let's go.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
Was it spooky?
I mean, maybe.
No.
The world's pretty spooky right now.
A chicken in every blood.
Yes, we know. So, it's been a crazy October.
It's been a crazy
October,
my friend.
So, we've, I think we've also sang the Fast and Furious song in a recent episode. You know, it's been a crazy month. There's been marriages, there's been deaths, there's been, so, you know, we haven't really had time to do an episode. But, Bach, we are, I thought, let's do a little fun Halloween episode.
And in the spirit of Halloween. Halloween, where everything is upside down, everything's topsy-turvy, dogs and cats are living together, the dead walk the earth, and the living are in hell.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little switcheroony on this one, too, because Buccia
Nosferatu
is going to
Nosferatu
is going to tell me, Bile McHorror about something in U.S. history, and I'm just going to listen and ask questions and get totally
this time
spooked out.
ladies have the knowledge.
That's right, because in Halloween everything's backwards.
So I decided to refresh myself on some fun, spooky American history. Some that I knew, and then there were some surprises.
And some that you boo.
Some that I boo. So I really want to, talk about Abraham Lincoln because he was very interested in the occult. And then, his ghost is one of the most famous ones seen at the White House.
Terrifying.
But, I found a lot of other fun things.
A tall ghost? Ugh.
Very scary. So I thought I would share some other things that that I learned last night.
Oh, please.
Some of my sources include cntraveler.com, which is either Condé Nast Traveler or Cartoon Network Traveler. The Travel Channels, a blog by Lisa Waller-Rogers, whitehousehistory.org, and just, premonitions that I've had.
and
a dream.
And whispers late at night when you can't fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. So, one thing that is interesting, Benjamin Franklin's basement. Do you know about that a little bit, Kyle?
I know a little bit about it. That's where he did weird sex stuff? Or is that
I
just
mean,
everywhere
usually,
else in his house?
His basement is his butt.
Yeah.
Recently they were repairing Benjamin Franklin's old London house, and 1,200 pieces of bones from at least 15 people were found.
Skeletons.
If it wasn't a beloved historical figure like Benjamin Franklin...
He's on the money.
Yeah, you're on the money.
No, you're on the money this episode.
That he... I think we would be more like, oh, maybe he was a serial killer. But because we love Benjamin Franklin, we were like, oh, it was probably something innocent because he was a man of science, and 6 of those bodies were children. So...
Wow, the original Epstein.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. We do know that Benjamin Franklin loved some ass and titties.
He really did. But I think that his tastes tended to skew old.
Yes.
I say this as an educator. Is there a mainstream story for why Benny Franks has a bunch of skeletons in his basement?
Who the fuck is Benny Franks? So basically what I've read before is people think, which is just so funny to me because I hope this is true, but it also feels so much like the lens that we look of, like, so basically Benjamin Franklin,
like Achilles and his best friend Ajax or whatever, instead of like they were fucking. Like,
yeah, he lived in London for 2 decades leading up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Sure.
He lived in this house at 36 Craven Street. And then he left his home in England to come back to America. 200 years later, they find the 15 bodies in the basement, buried in a secret windowless room beneath the garden. Their theory is Benjamin Franklin loved science. He invented the electric stove.
I, Franklin, love science?
Yes, Franklin loved science. He put the key on the thing in the sky. What's it called?
Yeah, he invented the Goodyear blimp or something.
Yeah, so the theory is Benjamin Franklin knew nothing of this, and he probably had some scientist anatomy friends that would dig up bodies to do experiments on them and learn about anatomy, all for the greater good.
So they're Frankensteins.
Frankensteins.
And Mengeles.
And Benjamin Franklin had no idea.
Okay.
So that's kind of what they say.
So it sounds like a bunch of historians got together and were like, okay, so how can we make this okay? How can we explain this one away?
So
alternative theory. His basement's a hellmouth, and Franklin was a watcher.
Yes. So then let's move on to some other fun things.
Yeah, that was very spooky. I'm interested to see what's next.
Robert E. Lee. Do you know about him?
I've heard of him. He was the great general of the South during the Confederacy. I know who Robert E. Lee is.
Yes. So head of the Confederacy.
Well, military head of the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Head of the Confederacy was Jefferson Davis.
Yes. But so people say that in his home, in his childhood home in Alexandria, Virginia, the ghost of a 4-year-old Lee has been seen playing in the yard, and doing pranks on people, like ringing a doorbell, rearranging household objects, giggling in the hall, sometimes accompanied by a phantom black dog and 2 ghostly girls who could be his sisters.
Okay, so imagine you are one of the most decorated military strategists of your time, and you have this kick-ass big beard, and even people that hate your cause tend to still have respect for you, and you're stuck as a toddler for the rest of eternity.
I think he chooses to go back to those
the simpler times.
Back
when slavery was legal in Virginia.
Yeah. So, have you ever heard of General PGT Beauregard of New Orleans?
Yeah, I know. General Beauregard.
Oh, really? Gustave Touton Beauregard?
What's the P?
Oh, General Pierre Gustave Touton Beauregard.
Tonton.
He ordered the first shots at Fort Sumter and led his troops into the bloody Battle of Shiloh,
right,
where 23,000 men were killed. So, apparently, he still roams the halls of his home, Beauregard House, in the French Quarter of New Orleans, and he's doomed to relive this horrible battle. People said they've seen him walking around, whispering, Shiloh, Shiloh.
No, do it in his voice.
Shallow.
In the shallow.
In the shallow. In the shallow.
I'm stuck in the shallow.
Okay.
Now.
Betsy Ross, remember her?
Yeah, she made the flag.
Yeah, she made that sexy
remember
flag.
Betsy Rachel? They were on a break.
Yes. All right, get the cat. She's making sounds.
Oh, too busy laughing
Save the cat.
At my hilarious jokes.
Betty Pumpkin Spice.
Save the cat.
So she said to haunt her house, the house that she made the flag in. Apparently, there's also potentially the tortured soul of a gift shop employee who was murdered during a robbery at the Betsy Ross house.
Ross's ghost?
Maybe. So that's just fucked up that it's like Betsy Ross's ghost and a poor gift shop
This is
employee.
all these people are like these major American historical figures, and also some retail worker.
Yeah, that just like did not deserve that.
That's no good. I don't like that.
George Washington, you know that guy?
He invented the peanut?
Yes. And he was also a carver. So
George Washington, Carver.
So this is interesting.
But this is the president, George Washington.
Yeah. Apparently, he before the Battle of Gettysburg, apparently troops reported that they saw a ghost in a Revolutionary War uniform on a horse, a white stallion with an upraised, aflamed sword, saying, "Fixed bayonets, charge!" and like ordering the Union soldiers to go down the hill. Like they reported like that George Washington kind of saved them and told them what to do. And Gettysburg residents of today say that they still see him galloping.
Whoa.
That gave me chills.
That's crazy. It's a Washington Irving story.
Yeah. And that kind of ties into, because this is a mini episode, which due to your incessant prattling, it's probably not so mini already.
I'm just giving the people what they want.
This is the section that I will call Psychic Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. We all know his life was cut short thanks to a ghost of John Wilkes Booth.
He was kind of the ghost of the South.
Yes. Abraham Lincoln was, very well read. He taught himself. He was a lawyer. We all know the Lincoln lawyer. He was the Lincoln lawyer. And but he was very open to psychic phenomena.
Right.
He was a skeptic in a lot of ways. But his wife, Mary Todd, was more open to it.
Not a skeptic.
Not a skeptic. So when their 11-year-old son, Willie, died in 1862 of typhoid fever, Lincoln was just...
It was really hard for him.
It was really sad. So he basically was like, I will try anything.
Right. And
so she was like, let's do some seances in the White House, in the Red Room. I think that's what it was called. In the Red Room of the White House, they hosted as many as 8 seances, and Lincoln was at most of them.
Seance it ain't so.
Oh, God. This is what I'm like to you.
Oh, 100%.
And so basically, like, I think they were communicating with Willie during this, they were satisfied by it. And Lincoln was pretty moved by when a piano lifted up and moved around the room.
And fell on his head.
That's how he died. No. And so apparently the mediums that worked with him were like, he's very psychic. He's very powerful. Like, basically, like, if Lincoln's in the room, shit's happening.
Yeah.
So they did that for a while. And once Mary Todd Lincoln said, "Willie lives. He comes to me every night and stands at the foot of the bed with the same sweet, adorable smile that he always has had. He does not always come alone. Little Eddie," her son that died before him, "is sometimes with him." And basically, Mrs. Lincoln thought that Americans could travel through time, or thought that with spiritualism, you could be with your lost loved ones, all that stuff. But she basically, social pressures made her like try to kind of walk it back a little.
Right.
Apparently, one time, the day after his first election to presidency in 1860, Lincoln called his friend, journalist Noah Brooks, into his office and was basically like, "I saw 2 faces at once in a mirror."
Oh.
And so Brooks basically sort of paraphrased him as he has a high-pitched voice. "It was just after my election in 1860 when the news had been coming in thick and fast all day, and there'd been a great hurrah, boys, so that I was well tired out, and went home to rest, throwing myself down on a lounge in my chamber. Opposite where I lay was a bureau with a swinging glass upon it. And he, like, reenacted it to his friend. Looking at the glass, I saw myself reflected nearly at full length, but my face, I noticed, had two separate and distinct images. So he kind of describes that, and then it vanishes, and he notices that one of the faces was a little paler, say 5 shades, than the other. So he's like, I got up and the thing melted away, and blah, blah, blah. And then he said, like, but I tried to again, but I never succeeded in bringing the ghost back after that. Though I once tried very industriously to show it to my wife, who was somewhat worried about it. Mary Todd thought it was a sign that he was to be elected to a second term, and the paleness of one of the faces an omen that he should not live to see through the last term. So basically, like...
Okay, so he foresaw his own death.
Yeah, and he was... It's crazy to think of this known as, like, the most respected president.
Right.
That he's like, that's how it goes, you know. Then, you know, that brings us to the ideas that Lincoln was warned of his death, or he had some sorts of premonitions. So this is the story that, you know, is debated and people poke holes in it, but it's still, you know, the story. Ward Hill Lamont, Abraham's former law partner and sometimes bodyguard, told a famous story about, you know, his premonition. So, according to this, Lincoln was in a small group of people, including his wife and Lamont, and he says, I had a dream, and apparently, not that all people are created equal, but apparently Lincoln did believe in the power of dreams. This is proven because he wrote a letter to his wife in the past saying that he had a bad dream about Tad playing with a pistol, had an ugly dream about him, and to please put the pistol away. So, but then he also...
That's good advice.
Yeah, and he... and also, members of Lincoln's cabinet recalled that on the morning of his assassination, the president told them he dreamt of sailing across an unknown body of water at great speed. He also apparently revealed that he'd had the same dream repeatedly on previous occasions before nearly every great and important event of the war. Which does point to that he believed in the power of these dreams. Doesn't mean he believed they were literal or whatever, right. But he's open to these things. Important. So anyway, this is the story that Lamont says he told. People poke holes in it because they're like, if he told it to this group of people, including Mary Todd, how come Mary Todd never told anyone? But you know what?
Mary Todd was out of her mind.
Yeah. So this was his dream. He says, in it, he walked into the east room of the White House to find a covered corpse guarded by soldiers and surrounded by a crowd of mourners. When Lincoln asked one of the soldiers who had died, saying, who died in the White House? They said, the president. He was killed by an assassin. Now, Lincoln apparently, to this guy, said, the body and dream wasn't mine. Like I didn't think it was about me. Anyway, and I think, you know, then Lincoln woke up or something. People poke holes in that, or no, someone's theory is that the dead body in the dream was supposed to be George Washington, and it was about Abraham Lincoln thinking like, oh...
Comparing himself to Washington?
Yeah, you know, we're feeling that pressure, but it's like, how could you extrapolate that from...
Yeah, I don't know why that would be.
If he thought it was Washington, he would say... Anyway...
He said it was Washington's body.
So, then, yeah, and Lincoln also, you know, has a great quote where he's about dreams in the Bible. He said, if we believe the Bible, we must accept the fact that in the old days, God and his angels came to men in their sleep and made themselves known in dreams. When his wife asked him something, he admitted he didn't believe in dreams, but he went on nevertheless to allude to a recent dream that has haunted me ever since. Let's see, that he had gone to bed late after he stayed up waiting for important dispatches from the front. As he began to dream, he experienced a death-like stillness about me. Hearing the sounds of... Oh, this is like how someone else is describing the same dream.
Got it.
So basically, like, there apparently this is a thing he did, describing these kinds of prophetic dreams. So I choose to believe that it was true. And that apparently Lincoln reported that he was strangely annoyed by that dream ever since, which is great.
Very relatable.
So now Abraham Lincoln is known to be one of the main ghosts of the White House. There's
like in the Venture Brothers.
Yes.
Right.
There's a picture by the photographer Mumler. What was his name? Mr. Mumler.
He goes by Mumler.
I don't know why this article says Mr. Mumler. And it's fucking freaky. It's a picture of Mary Todd with Abraham Lincoln over her shoulder from that time period.
Whoa.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
And that's like a real photo?
Apparently, I haven't done more research into it, but it's from that era. And Mary Todd apparently was like, here's me and Lincoln,
What's
my
happening
husband. Here? These are more pictures by that guy.
Of similar things.
Like spirit
people
photographer.
Can't see this, but...
According to this Smithsonian Mag article, no investigator has been able to solve the riddle of how he created these pictures. It's like maybe they were fucking real.
Yeah.
So look up the Mumler, Mumler, picture of... We'll tweet at Mumler.
Yeah, we'll tweet at Mumler, ask him what happened.
Ask his ghost in 1860 what happened. So, anyway, Lincoln's ghost, Mary Todd was comforted by his ghost. He appeared in these photos, apparently, and now he's one of the most cited at the White House, which is why it's upsetting that, like, Trump slept in the Lincoln bedroom. Or that any of these people.
Unless Lincoln was haunting him.
Yeah.
And being like, you are really stupid, you big stupid idiot. And Trump being like, wow, I don't love this. I can't believe it. Abraham Lincoln saying this to me.
That's why he wanted to go to the Mar-a-Lago.
One of the greats, one of the all-time greats saying this to me. Can't believe it.
Apparently, First Lady Grace Coolidge, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, and Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands have all claimed to see Lincoln's ghost. As well as, I think, Theodore Roosevelt would see his ghost, too.
He tried to kick its ass.
Yeah.
You don't haunt me, you tall fuck.
Boy. And apparently one of Jeremiah Smith was the official duster of the White House for over 35 years. And he would...
someone's got to do it.
He would talk to reporters about, oh, I saw this ghost, I saw that ghost. So many ghosts.
It's Ghost City.
Yeah. And let me see if there's any more.
And he's snoring. I can hear it on the recording.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's so cute.
That's our cat snoring. Oh. She's so cute. Hope she's dreaming about Lincoln.
She always is. She's thinking Lincoln.
Yeah, so apparently tall Lincoln, Roosevelt, Lady Coolidge, even people walking by on the street would see his shadow in the window, where the president often stood gazing at the Potomac River during the days of the Civil War. So it was like his window he went to. And apparently Mary Todd Lincoln said she heard a man with the unmistakable voice of Andrew Jackson stomping and swearing in the Rose Room. Basically, if you're president...
You might haunt the White House.
You might haunt the White House or be haunted by another president.
Right, you're going to have ghosts.
You're going to get some hop-ons of ghosts. So that's the story of psychic ghost Lincoln.
Terrifying.
And let's see if there's any more I want to leave you. Just there's a lot of great hauntings all around America. Usually places where there's like, plantations with cemeteries or, pioneer towns or ghost towns, especially in California. There's a lot of those gold rush ghost towns that got abandoned. There's a lot of haunted hotels. I mean, Los Angeles has the Cecil Hotel, We have the Roosevelt Hotel?
Yeah.
The Hollywood Tower.
Right. I'm sure what's the one that all the Chateau?
Yeah, the Chateau. So lots of dead celebrities here. So check out, the haunting spots in your
town. Find the ghost near you.
Yeah.
Befriend it, set it free.
Yeah, find out what it wants and help it get some closure.
Right. Do your duty.
Yeah, do your ghost duty.
Is there anything else you wanted to add, Luch?
No, is there anything spooky you want to add?
Oh no, I'm shivering down to my boot bones.
Your boot bones?
Yeah.
Okay, well, happy Halloween, and we're gonna close out this episode with some spooky tracks by me.
Ooh.
Lucia Fasano.
And we hope that everyone is having a lovely Halloween season, that everyone is staying safe and seeing family. And
a happy Thanksgiving
happy
season.
Thanksgiving.
If you're listening to this in November, yeah, for those who observe. Gratitude.
And we love you. We love you all out there listening and in the land of the living.
Happy Hubie Halloween to all.
Who practice.
And to all a good
fried
cluck.
My baby's so happy, more than I've ever known. It drives her crazy when she sees that bag of bones. 'Cause my baby, she's got it. She's finally bringing home a 12-foot skeleton. It's been a long journey. It's been a long road, but she's finally bringing that 12-foot skeleton home. My baby, she's got it. She's a real size queen. It wouldn't take no average man to give her what she needs. 'Cause my baby, she's got it. She's finally bringing home a 12-foot skeleton.
I was working in the laboratory around midnight when I started to see something very spooky. And my creature from his gurney began to get up, and suddenly I got turned up. I did the creep. I did the creature creep, the creature creep. It was really neat. I did the creep, and I started to yeet. I did the creep. I did the creature creep from my studio apartment in Northeast to the master bedroom where there's infections of yeast. The Babadook came from that woman's wardrobe to kill a child and wear scary clothes. I did the creep. I did the creature creep, the creature creep. It was really neat. I did the creep. It was so on fleek. I did the creep. I did the creature creep. The zombies were having fun. Shoo-ba-doo-ba, the Beatles were also good. Enough discussing rock bands. Let's talk about Halloween. The children were left with Pennywise the clown. The invisible man was nowhere to be found. The necrophiliacs were about to arrive, but we made them leave, 'cause they're perverts. We did the creep. We did the creature creep, the creature creep. It was really neat. We did the creep, and I really did eat the creature creep. I did the creature creep. Out from Texas, Leatherface's voice did ring. Seems he was bummed out by just one thing. He took his meat hook and shook his claw and said, "Whatever happened to my Texas Chainsaw Cha-Cha?" He should do the creep. He of our listeners, happy 1 year of a chicken in every pod.
It's been a wonderful ride.
So good night.
And good blood.
Oh.